Okay, fuck the countdown. We're going live now.
Uh,
Welcome to Shoot the Shit, everybody. I'm back. We're back on this channel, and we got new shit. Look at this. Look
Look
at
at
look
that.
at look at this overlay.
You see that?
We've been spending way too much time putting this together. But hey, man, it exists now. We scrapped the logo. We're working on a new one. We're also working on one for VGBC. How's that coming along,
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
It's happening at some point. Not now, but it is happening. Don't worry about it.
Time progresses in a linear manner, people.
Yeah. But anyways, as we usually start every show, how's things going with y'all's video game book club? This month we're playing Hollow. No, we're not. We're not. It's fucking ruined.
Restart. I say, we've only spent a minute, 2 minutes, and so.
We're playing Darkest
My playthrough.
Dungeon.
Wait, we're playing Darkest Dungeon?
Yeah.
I've been
Oh,
playing Hollow Knight. I've been playing.
So how have y'all's
I've been playing
playthroughs been
Destiny.
going?
Alright, Darkest Dungeon. It's a game that you're constantly losing, and then when you think you're gonna win, you also lose, and then you get greedy, which is it. The game is never get greedy. Never just cut it. Just if you think you're at an interpass where you go like, am I get greedy and get this, or am I just to cut my losses? You should do the second one.
Yeah.
It's the kind of game where if you've got a 100% chance to succeed, you can still fail.
That actually happened to me. I had 100% chance to disarm a trap, failed.
Fail.
And the best,
It's
the
just
best
like, no.
part is, the reason I assigned the guy that was 100% chance. I'm like, all right, he'll be fine, because when you disarm a trap successfully, you lose stress, and I'm like, all right, perfect. This guy's really stressed out. He didn't have a heart attack, but he did become paranoid. So that happened.
That's a cool
hot
mechanic,
mess.
though. I want to talk about the either paranoid or like the.
No, you mean the
The
100% failure? That's not a cool mechanic at all.
No. I mean like the resolve is tested.
All right, go ahead. You
Where-
can go into that.
where when the people get stressed out enough at 100, it's a roll. It's basically a roll to see whether the resolve is tested, whether they go into a negative or a positive trait, and it's when it gets positive and everybody else is on negative. Like, it doesn't matter if your entire party is on negative. You feel so good. You're like, yes, this guy's gonna like just carry
He's
us
gonna
now.
make it. Yeah. See, sometimes the people that get the good traits, they like relieve some of the stress from the others, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. And they're more likely to, just relieve everybody. I once got it on my healer, and I thought it was like I just want to destroy everybody, but it wasn't. It wasn't that bad.
But so I've found out that there are two classes. I think are they both part of the DLC, the Flagellant and the Occultist? I'm not sure if they're DLC characters. I think the Flagellant is. I'm not sure about the Occultist though. But the Flagellant is really OP. It's one of the only characters that I have that has not died. And I actually got the achievement.
It's so hard to kill.
Yeah, I got the achievement, kill 50 monsters with one hero with my Flagellant. It was pretty cool. And I named it after Rai, my roommate, so he's pretty happy about that. Because the first one I named after Rai, and the second one I named after Rai, they both died like instantly. But now he's a Flagellant. Those guys are good.
They're very, very. They're just resilient.
They're so tanky. Like, one of my favorite things about them, actually, is that they can mark themselves, which is, usually you don't want that, but when a target's marked, then the enemies focus on them, and then they can heal themselves, so then it's like, you only have to heal one dude, so it's easy.
Yeah, it's
How about you,
it's
Jim?
very interesting.
Man, it was a mistake playing the hardest difficulty.
You're playing
because
on the hardest difficulty?
you guys are talking about like, oh, they get good quirks when they turn insane. They don't. Like, I haven't seen it once. My dungeon is awash with the blood of my heroes. It's It's very dim, very dark, and
What's your death count? Above 20?
my death count, it's at 14 right now.
Okay, at least you haven't passed 20 yet.
Not yet, but we'll see. I'm only just getting to tier 3 um, on this tier
I
system.
only just got to tier 2. I've been straight up. I've been a pussy about it. I'm just like, I'm gonna go on tier 1 as long as possible, and then I realize that once they're level 3, they will not do it. They're just like, this is beneath me. I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Carry the other guys.
Right. And that's a decision. That's a very interesting decision where you go, okay, should I take my 3 team and do a level 3 dungeon, or should I bring more on level 3, so then I can start tackling it? Like,
Yeah,
it's a very.
seriously.
Aye.
It is rough. So what I've been doing is I've been taking my noobs into the harder dungeon, and I did it once, and it was, oh god, it was a struggle. They barely made it out of there alive. Like, I ran out of torches, and then at like the next hallway there was just like an unlit torch, and I'm just thank God.
Okay, but the crocodile.
He is responsible for 4 of my 14 deaths. The fucking crocodile, dude. I'm like, oh, it's just new DLC. It'll be easy content. It was not. There's a fucking crocodile in there.
Yeah.
And it's on a level 1
Mhm.
thing. Like,
It's the very first
Right,
one, right?
it's a level
Yeah.
1. It's the very first exposure.
The best part is that I think that's the first mob that I lost an entire party to. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
it. We're
yeah.
gonna kill him. No, we're not gonna kill him.
we'll get close
need
at
that
least. You
first.
know?
See, that's the thing
You'll get
about
that.
Darkest Dungeon. You get close and you think you're gonna kill him. No, you're not close.
Yeah, but 10 is not 0.
Yeah,
10's not 0.
exactly.
I killed him, but then my last surviving 2 guys died, obviously, because I'm like, okay, well, I guess I need to activate 1 more for that mission, and then they just got killed, and I'm like, well, at least I was able to beat him.
Yep. That's how I feel like that's how the
Yeah.
whole game goes.
At least I was able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's like, sure, your entire party died, but at least or like one guy survived, but at least I got all these deeds and whatever, like, you know.
Yep, that's one thing Darkest Dungeon has taught me. Humans are expendable.
Indeed. Like, if you lose 1 or 2 people and you have your good guys still, just run away. There's no shame.
Yep.
But anyways, good to know that everybody's having a good time with Video Game Book Club. If you're not already participating, feel free to join us. There is a link to the Discord down below. See, I actually did it. I remembered to update it. So
Nice.
check it out. We play a new game every month or so. You know, depends on how long the game is. Last month we played Hollow Knight. This month we're playing Darkest Dungeon. Who knows what we're gonna play next? Don't know. You'll have to find out. Check it out.
And you get to vote, so you also get to pick in a way.
Yes.
Democratic.
Yes.
Pioneered by the Greeks.
We keep it. We're very civilized people. Anyways, moving on to esports. So what's going on with CS this week, Daniel?
It's actually pretty normal. It's major offline qualifiers, and it's going exactly as expected. Back to you. No, I'm just kidding. TGL Krakow.
Krakow.
They've been making a meme. They've been making a meme about it on the stream. Six is as always as a major offline qualifier is best of ones, which is not desirable, but it does bring a little bit of variancy to the major. So you might disagree, you might like it, you might dislike it. I think it's exciting sometimes see it. 16 teams, it's random round robin, 3 wins you're in, 3 losses you're out, top 8 teams qualify.
Yeah, it's a really interesting
So far, Mouse and
system.
yeah, no, it's a lot of rules.
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of rules.
complicated.
But the fact that G2 has qualified, I mean, maybe means it actually works. Well,
What are you trying to say about G2?
G2 is supposed to be really good, but they actually I don't see them convincing. Like
See, I'm not sure if
Scary,
that's
yes.
is that about G2 or about everybody else? Because, just because G2 is not destroying everybody doesn't mean it's necessarily that they're bad, but it could be that everybody else is doing well. I don't know.
Well, it's also how they perform at tournaments sometimes too. Like they lose on random stupid matches. They lose things that they shouldn't. Like it's a lot sort of how I perceive them playing. But I mean, like they still gotta qualify. They qualified. We'll see how they perform in the major, which is in a month or so.
Hmm.
So far, they eliminated our Optic Gaming, Tengri, random Kazakhstan team. That I mean, it's good that you see more people in the scene. And Optic Gaming, I mean, NACS right now, it's a mess. I like to say. I like to add.
It's yeah, it is a mess. C9 has been underperforming consistently. Liquid has never ever recovered the loss of Simple, and
And
Optic.
Hiko now.
Yeah, and Hiko's not even on Liquid anymore. And the thing is with Optic is that they have been horrible ever since they lost Stanislaw. Pretty much, like they just don't win
Yeah.
anything at all.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But that's yes. It goes as this goes so far as expected. Maybe there's a lot of, I would say, like tier 1.5. Like they're tier 1 teams, but I don't see many of these going far in the actual major. But we'll see. It could actually shake up a lot because BP's not doing that well.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
VPs.
so, but maybe they're boot camping right now and preparing,
we'll
or
see.
who knows.
I mean, one.
Are those
Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
are those old teams? See, I'm not familiar with the CS:GO circuit. Are those old favorite teams or reigning champions?
Yeah, so the two teams that me and Daniel have been talking about, G2 and Virtus Pro. G2 is I mean, this combination of them is relatively new, but they've all played with each other. They're all French players, and the French scene is very inbred in that they always shuffle within each other, and that they almost never have a non-French player on the team.
And this is technically the super French team right now. So
Yeah, the second Super French team. And then
Super French.
Yeah, Virtus Pro, they're like, power of friendship, Polish dudes that have been playing with each other for like 5 years at least.
oh, some of the Neo and Taz have been playing together for like 10,
Yeah,
11
since
years or something.
1.6. But I mean, like this squad has been
Yeah,
together
this
for about
squad,
5
this squad.
years.
They've been together since the beginning of CS:GO, except for Kuben, who is their coach now, and they brought in Snacks. So
Mhm.
I believe they brought in Snacks. No, they brought in the little. Bialy? I'm not a CS:GO professional myself. I'm not a CS:GO historian either. Anyway.
You're not Thorin. But yeah,
You're
the
not
qualifiers are wrapping up tomorrow. 6 more teams, or not 6 more teams, 12 more teams, 6 more slots. So there's still a lot of CS:GO action. Check it out, twitch.tv/PGL.
Yep. It's actually so far it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, there have been some good plays coming out. You'll see one of them later. And then next, we got the International 2017 qualifiers. All the qualifiers are wrapped up. We now know all 16 teams for the Dota 2 International 7. And I figured I'd pull up the Dota 2 website because it's probably the best way to show it since they have it all updated. Here we have the 5 heroes that were selected in the final game of the grand finals last year. As is tradition with Valve, they always highlight them for the entire next year, kind of, to immortalize the heroes that the players won with. And then going down, we got the direct invites. This year there was only 6 direct invites, which is very much in line with what the community likes. People are always saying it's like, we don't want to see the same teams over and over again, and especially because the same teams that go to the international are not always the best teams historically. So Valve is like, all right, we're going to make these teams fight for it, basically, and only the best of the best get invited. So we got the 6 invites. This year, the favorites are probably Virtus Pro and Team Liquid, but you know, as is esports, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shakeups here. And then there are a lot of qualifiers. So since there was only 6 teams invited, that means there's a lot of teams that had to qualify. There was 10 teams qualify. Or no, sorry, 9 teams qualify, and then all of the runner-ups. All of the third place teams are going to go into the wild card, and then in Seattle they're going to fight it out for the last slot. So the qualifiers aren't quite over yet, but we know who's going to be at the international. Whether they only play one game, we don't know. We'll see. So I'll just kind of scroll through. Also, it's important to note that there are only 4 7-time attendees to the international. And what this means is that these guys have been to every single international since 2011, which is pretty huge, actually, when you think about it. Because there's a lot of these guys that have been playing the whole time, but the thing is, not all of them qualify. And then we have Puppy, Kuroki, Universe, and DDC. Of course, you have Puppy that was on Navi, moving to Secret. Kuroki, he's changed teams a million times. I don't even know what team he's on right now. I think he's on Team Liquid still. And then you got Universe on EG. It seems he always goes to the international with EG, except for the one time he went with Secret, but that didn't work out very well. And then we have DDC, a Chinese player, very consistent, always on good teams. So one of the things to look forward to with the international this year is that there are a lot of new players that have not been to the international before, which is really cool, I think.
I always like when tournaments feature like brand new players that you haven't heard of, that just you hear their backstory. They dedicated their time, they tested. Like it's always nice to hear about, and that's the only thing I really dread about CS:GO tournaments. It's always the same guys, and the shakeups like Tyloo you rarely hear about.
Yep.
So this is actually pretty exciting.
And also to rep the Filipino pride. That's the reason I stopped the page right here. TNC Pro Team, Filipino team, Execration, Filipino team, Fnatic has Filipino player. Boom. We made
What
it,
is
guys.
happening
We
in the
made it.
Philippines?
The Pinoys.
What are they doing in there?
We got them esports steroids, making it to the international, making the big bucks. And also, for the people that don't know, the international has quite a large prize pool.
What are the stakes for that?
Let me just pull it up real quick.
Stakes.
There's actually a
$200.
website. There's a website that has a prize pool tracker. And
Are
it's
there brace stakes? New York
insane.
stakes?
$400.
Yeah,
For
there's
first
a little
place.
bit. There's a little bit of money in here. It's about 20 million.
That's a lot of commas.
It's about
Oh,
$20 million. I don't know. Like, no big deal. At this time last year, the prize pool was 17 million, and we're at 20 million right now. No big deal. It's a little bit of change to fight for.
These are the highest stakes I have ever seen in an esports tournament.
So
Man,
yeah,
like,
it's
stakes.
consistent. The international
I
is always the highest prize pool. In fact, fun fact, I'm pretty sure that the international prize pool is bigger than any single esports tournaments for the whole year. I'm pretty sure.
Like an entire subsection of tournaments. Like I know StarCraft has maybe 12 tournaments.
Yeah,
Overwatch
so
has
then you say all
as
those
many.
prize pools added up, still not as much as this one tournament.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Is it? Wow, Val. Dude,
Wait.
all out.
Oh, so another thing is, it's not Valve this money is from the community. So
That's
what
the community.
Valve does is they pitch in.
Valve?
Okay, look at this right here. This is the
Yeah,
base
1.6.
right here.
Yeah.
1.6 million. That's all Valve did.
Cool,
This is what the
1.6.
community contributed. $18 million. Okay.
Through that.
In-game
my
items. It's just in-game items. Valve is selling just crap that you get for Dota 2. And then the best part of this is that this contributed prize pool, that's only 25% of what people have been paying for those items. Valve has made $60 million.
Oh, way more. You always.
Off of hats.
Just this, though.
Okay,
Like this
yeah,
one
just
specific
this, but
thing. Just imagine all of the other stuff that Valve is selling and how much money they're making off that.
And we
It's
still can't get
nuts.
Half-Life 3.
No,
We still can't
they're
fucking
too
get
busy. They're just too busy making money off Dota. Sorry.
yeah, they don't make games anymore.
Yeah. Why do they need to make games?
But anyway, I'm actually excited for the international because the finals are always like really great, and I really like the story that builds it
Oh yeah, it's
alongside
always a
within
huge
the
spectacle.
players.
Mhm.
That is really exciting. I know MOBA teams train some of the hardest of any team because of the tactics of a MOBA game. I know a lot of these guys are living together in the same houses just so they can just know each other, know their minute reflexes, know their poop timers, everything. It's a
Which
huge commitment.
it's interesting because in other games that it doesn't work as well, like in CS:GO, Hearthstone, obviously, like you don't really need a team there. Like
Mhm.
this one is just dedication, it's teamwork, it's kind of like an action like a sports team,
Yeah.
just living together and
Yeah.
or living in the same complex.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
brutal too because like those professional sports teams, like they don't have to fight through hundreds of teams to get there. Like these teams that qualified, those qualifiers, I'm pretty sure every single one of the qualifiers had over 100 teams in it.
Yeah, no,
It's a
it's
marathon.
yeah, no, it's really interesting because in Magic it's also popped up a little bit of problems of, well, at least in Magic you can run many, but you run many tables at a time, and you always do that until you cut to a top 8 and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's gotten so big that they have to like split the event in two, and then pick from those people to go to a second day, and it's so. I really like how the international builds up through so much time. It
Yeah,
really
there's some-
makes it cool.
Yeah, there's some crazy stories, but yeah, the international, it's about a month and a half from now, so be sure to check that out. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of coverage on that.
Ooh, casting.
I look forward to it.
Now, maybe some restreams and some viewing parties. We'll see.
Ooh. Alright.
Then moving on to StarCraft.
Of course, we gotta have StarCraft. Wouldn't be shoot the shit without it. This last week, we saw the Season 2 Codas Finals, and I covered it. It was all right. As far as finals go, it's not a World Series. Most notably, our players Maru and Stats. They are old favorites in the circuit, and they got just wrecked in this series. They dropped out early on. However, they were still seeded, but they got wrecked by a couple of upstarts.
By early, Jordan means they didn't make it to the grand finals.
Make to the grand finals.
They both made top 8.
They were
all right?
semifinalists.
They still made top 8. Come on.
They got dumped on by these noobs, and I love it. I love to see it, as Daniel was saying, these new players bringing the heat. My favorite match was two players, Gumiho versus Sue, both relatively inexperienced in World Finals. However, they pretty much live in this GSL, which is basically the semifinals to the World Series Finals. And they had a really exciting match. It was a 1 out of 7 match. Their very first game got huge. There was so much tactical play going on. It was like watching a game of chess just being played out, and God, it was very good. I recommend checking it out, going to Africa, just looking up Gumiho versus Sue. And the cool part is they actually both got a seed. They were the finalists in this Codas Season 2, and they will be in Season 3. And I cannot wait to see the rematch. I think it is going to be very good. These are some very good new players. And Sue is the tragic act who simply cannot break into the World Finals, and we'll see if he can finally make it. He's so close. He just needs to get to this last qualifying round in Season 3, and he will go on to the World Finals. So I'm really, really rooting for you, Sue. Come on.
Do you want to check out this one clip?
Yeah, that's let's see, at like
Sue
52-50.
getting ready.
Yeah, so
try
he's
to
checked
strike
into
in here again. Fungal
Brood
growth
Lords.
is the name of the game right now.
The
What can he
casters
get
will
done
tell
with these
you.
infestors? If he He
That's
just
Gumiho
needs to
on
take out some
Terran.
of these very expensive
He's
units.
got Thors and Ravens, and these Ravens are so deadly versus air. Just watch. Watch these mines. They're heat-seeking mines. Watch the split. He splits them perfectly.
All right, so here,
And he's able to decimate his air army.
let's go back in here. Let's go back and do some
Just look at the
play-by-play real quick.
control.
We'll watch this in half speed, so Jordan and I can explain to y'all what's going on. So pretty much what's going on here is they have, they have kind of like a stalemate going in the middle of the field, and they're just kind of trying to feel each other out. And then here, you got Sue moving in, and he's trying to attack a base. And then you got Gumiho countering with Thors, which have great anti-air, and Ravens, which are pretty much designed to destroy air armies because they clump up. And what they're doing right here is they're shooting out these homing missiles, and the homing missiles follow one target. But when they hit the target, they blow up in an AoE. So then Sue
beautiful middle ground split,
and then nothing dies. That's incredible.
Is devastating. If he hadn't split that, he would have lost that entire match. Everything there would have died.
Yep.
And actually, earlier that does happen, but he's able to bounce back because he's Zerg, of course, and he's able to bounce back and come back and fight in this contested ground.
Protoss
sucks. Really, though, Protoss has got no presence in these circuits, and it's a shame.
It's been a while since they've made it to the finals of anything.
I don't
think since DreamHack.
Yeah, there are a couple notable Protoss players. We'll see him in Season 3, but I don't know, man. Just the meta does not support it. It's just not enough. They die in the early game far too easily. But that's what's happening in StarCraft 2. Season 3 is the 5th of July. I'll be covering it. I hope you watch it too. It's on Africa TV on YouTube. And you've got Day9 and Artosis casting it. They always illuminate the match. You can learn a lot of StarCraft just from listening to those two guys. I can tell you two are StarCraft 2 fans.
Hey man, StarCraft 2 has been pretty stale for me. I can't honestly say that I've played it seriously since 2014.
No, I don't watch any of StarCraft.
I like it just because of the 1v1 aspect of it. It's very not a team game. It's almost like watching a game of chess or a game of Go. And then yeah, the tactics of it. That's all I got for StarCraft 2. I also covered, I covered Overwatch as well. We're in the Contenders League, and we can talk about Overwatch. I know you guys love that game too.
Try not to be biased. I I welcome all the esports, even if I don't follow them.
Well, the Contenders League is just wrapping up the group stage for Europe and North America. Pretty much standard Overwatch meta. You'll see the same 6 heroes in pretty much every game. CLG was knocked out, which is one of the biggest groups. They were knocked out very early, got trashed on. It's pretty much just like it was earlier in the year, though. Not a lot has changed with Overwatch. The World Finals was in May, and is again next year in May. So we're just looking at just a few qualifying matches to see who can edge out and make a name for themselves for this next year coming up. But very, very standard, very samey on Overwatch. I guess it is what it is. Out of a game like Overwatch, I like to see innovation because you've got all these hero abilities. It's not like, CS:GO, where there's no space ninjas with Dragon Blades or anything like that.
Hey man, you don't have one taps.
I don't even know what a one tap is.
Exactly. You got no jiggle peeking, no one taps. You have to crouch to walk. What the fuck is this game?
I don't.
Sounds like some kind of mating dance.
It kind of is, in a way. It involves two people, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
That's what we got. That's what we got for esports this week. Moving on
It's
to
been a
Daniel's
little,
favorite news.
been a little stealth on esports, but okay. So I mean, everybody has already heard about it and read about it. The SNES Classic is coming up in September. 21 games, Starfox 2, all the hype, and EU is better. EU and Japan. Japan is
Finally did it.
the best edition. But we got there, everybody. We got there. Online resale at 150% on announcement. Like
Yeah, look at this.
Nintendo did say they're gonna make more, whatever that means. Like
don't
I
think
actually
people trust them.
no, nobody. Like not even retail stores. I went to my local shop here, like one that is like a smaller franchise, and it's run by the guys over here. So I went there and I asked them, it's like, hey, can you put me down on the list? And they're like, I mean, we already got some people on the list. We're not sure how many we're gonna receive. And I'm like, just put me down. Like, even if I have to wait a month and a half, or like for several,
At least you're on the list.
at least I'm on the list. So I'll get one hopefully. But
Maybe?
Jesus. Well, I mean, who knows? My luck. And I wouldn't mind getting like a second. Like I might if I hear of a lead somewhere else, because I don't trust Nintendo. That's one thing I think they need to fix about this, because people were expecting the NES Classic to get another run, like a bigger run, and then you just closed it out, and I was just saying, I'll just wait for it to die down, and it's everywhere, so I'll buy one. And they're just Nintendo's just like, no, later. So
Deuces.
I'm excited for it. I actually like the thing is that at least the NES Classic had like Donkey Kong and like the original Mario Kart, like just stuff that was more arcadey. This one has actual like playthrough games. So I think people are gonna enjoy it. I mean, they did a lot with it now. Now it comes with 2 controllers. It's, I believe, the same price. And
I think the original NES Classic was only 60, wasn't it?
was it 60? Okay, it was 60. It was 60. My bad.
I mean,
But
it's
this
a
one has.
SNES though. It's also got this little game that people might have heard of.
You mean Starfox 2?
I mean, no big deal. They're just kind of releasing a game that never came out.
That's reason to buy it, just like as it is.
I think that's strange a little bit. Like, why now?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Starfox 2. So for the people that don't know, this is a game that never officially got released for SNES. There are copies of it on the internet, but none of them are official copies because it never.
They're
came out.
emulators, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're just like, "Hey, it'll be available on this." And people are like, "What?"
It's like they obviously haven't been sitting on this as an idea. They're not like, oh, in 20 years from now, we're gonna no. But at the same time, it's like I feel like this is thanks to a guy in one of the meetings that's like, oh, we have that over here, and then they're like, you gotta raise like a bonus.
Yeah, it's
like
they would have.
yeah, just like
They would have made a
Thanks
ton
to-
of money without it. Like,
yeah.
they didn't need it.
No, at no point did they need it, but sure. And then the Japan is the Master Edition because it has a cooler box. Then it goes to EU because it's still on the Famicom design, and then NA, which is the
purple and gray.
the thing that looks like a VHS tape for
Yeah.
some reason. Yeah. No. So that's the biggest game news this week. It's been slow since E3.
Yeah, everybody's on vacation, but not us.
We're here. We're here.
Whether you like it or not, we're here.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll see the Super NES. It's the Xbox One killer.
Yeah.
It won't take much to kill the Xbox One. No big deal.
The Xbox One S. X, X, X,
It's triple X.
triple X.
Triple X rated.
With limited edition blow up girlfriend.
Woo. Alright, alright. But next, we have some Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
A game near to my heart, but you know.
Yeah, you may have heard of it. Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of all like the glitchiness happening in it.
The weird eyes.
The the crazy grins, like teeth falling out of jaws and junk. Yeah, BioWare just dumped it. There was a DLC coming out for Mass Effect, and a Kotaku agent. He has like connections on the inside. He's got an uncle working at BioWare. Is stating that the DLC has been dropped.
An uncle. Is that actually how they found out?
No,
Oh,
no.
I believe it.
No.
You fooled me.
I'll believe it, but then the uncle has no job. Like, that's so easy to trace.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody actually made like I think it was like a Facebook post or some kind of media post, and they were saying DLC is not going to happen, and then BioWare pulled the post, and then turns out the DLC is not going to happen.
Whoops.
But yeah, sorry, not sorry. So it's a diverge from the norm. All of the Mass Effects had these huge DLCs to go with them.
Important DLCs too.
Yeah, that tied up a lot of loose ends. Loose ends that Andromeda does still have.
Oh,
So
really? I thought it was supposed.
Yeah.
So, I thought the whole point of this game was supposed to tie up all of that stuff.
No,
Nope.
this was like a world builder. Next, like 3 ended. 3 just.
Oh. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Yep,
This is
it's,
brand new.
it's the quest for more money.
Of
But
course.
no, it was.
But it's I expected it to go like, you know, Dragon Age. They're like, okay, we're gonna make a solid game that's gonna like be good, last for a little bit, and then build on to that, because they're apparently moving up to the second Dragon Age, but not the second one. Like the second after this generation. EA needs to solve their naming issue. It makes me confused.
Right. Like, I was thinking that last week.
Yeah. Anyway.
There, Battlefront. I was like, what?
But
There's 4
apparently,
Battlefronts, but 2. Okay, I'm done.
I also read this Mass Effect is it's supposed to also not have a sequel or anything. So it's kind of like one of those, like, or maybe not for a long while.
That's interesting.
It's moving all the resources to Battlefront 2, or moving the resources
They
to
can
Dragon
release a
Age 2.
game every year.
Yeah. So we'll see. I did love the writing in Mass Effect, so we'll see.
So
I hope
it's-
it comes back.
Yeah. Yep.
And then next we got new releases. This week, the Final Fantasy 15 DLC for Prompto came out. For Final
Prompto.
Fantasy fans, you
What
might
up,
have already
Prompto?
played the what's this? Gladiolus?
Gladiolus.
Yeah, the giant dude with the giant sword. That DLC was, it was alright. It wasn't received extraordinarily well because it was basically more of the same. But this one is significantly different because in episode Prompto, obviously you play as Prompto, one of the companions to Noctis, and
He's the waifu.
pretty much, dude. I'm pretty sure they're gay for each other. Like, they grew up together, and this DLC is pretty much a third-person shooter. So, you got his trusty handgun, but you can also get SMGs, a fucking rocket launcher, sniper rifles, so it's pretty cool. You can ride at a snowmobile at some point as your form of transportation because he's in the snowy mountain, as you can see here. And then in this one, you only have one party member because Prompto is separated from the rest of the party during this, and he's just kind of doing his own adventure, trying to get back to them, actually. And then also, there's this one feature about this game where you can take selfies with enemies while you're fighting them. Because Prompto loves to take
Dude.
pictures. Why not?
Like, how ballsy is that, though? That's like, Prompto don't give a fuck, man.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, selfies. You
just-
know it. Like Square Enix
Yeah.
is like, what do the kids like? Selfies.
I mean, it's in a
Wow.
several games, so
But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm probably holding off on the Final Fantasy 15 DLC until they all come out, and then maybe buy them all at once in like a pack or something. But this one does look cooler than the last one. It's only $5, so that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's so weird.
Yeah, $5, dude.
Yeah, and then
And it's
go ahead, Jordan.
Take us,
it's,
yeah.
it's just weird. Like, you've got a Final Fantasy game without a party. It's just a little
I mean,
thing there.
you kind of have a party. You have he runs into one companion during the DLC.
It's
Ah.
Final Fantasy 15 Revengeance,
Yeah, basically.
basically. But take us to more anime.
More anime? Are you?
Yeah.
Please,
Do you think you can handle more anime?
please.
I know.
Another thing
know.
that came up this week is Valkyria Revolution. No, my thing failed me. I've failed you all.
It's blue. You guys can.
What's
Anyway.
happening? There
Still
we
watching
go.
Prompto, dude.
Don't
Look at him
worry
bend those dudes
about
down.
it. It's there now.
Dude, he's going to fucking town.
Anyways, Valkyria Revolution
16
also
Peggy.
came out this week. So this was a game that had actually already come out in Japan in January. So, a bunch of reviewers have already done their reviews on it, and the NA version came out. I think some people were expecting it to be a little bit different from the Japanese one in hopes that it would not suck as much, honestly, because people did not like the Japanese version, and this one is basically the same game. So the reason why I'm saying that it's not so great is because if you've ever played one of the Valkyria Chronicles universe games before, you know that it's, very turn-based and strategic, right? This is not that. As you can see here, it's basically Dynasty Warriors. You got your you beat 'em up. You still have your guns and your alternate reality weapons and stuff, but all strategy, it's gone. It's very much action based, and you have the same morale systems as Dynasty Warriors. You have to kill bosses in order to make the other enemy minions retreat and stuff, and you're running around a map. So, as most IPs, a lot of Japanese IPs, I guess it's Valkyria's turn for a spin-off Dynasty Warriors style. It even happened to Zelda.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So-
The world needs more Dynasty Warriors.
Yes, it does. And the reviewers say it's boring. It's a movie
No.
in the sense that you both watch long cutscenes of boobies, and
How could this be boring?
I guess people don't need 15 minutes of boobies. Okay, most men are good with
What about
10
the
seconds. Eh,
Another thing about the cutscenes. So another thing about the cutscenes is sometimes the main character that's talking in the cutscene is not facing the camera.
He's shy.
uh,
But it looks pretty good. I've never played any of the Valkyrias, but this looks like the best yet.
See, if you want to play one of the Valkyrias, don't play this one because this is nothing like that. So,
not this one.
yeah. Anyways, in other games this week, we also have this. We have
A better
the
one.
Necromancer released for Diablo 3, and Blizzard made this cool little book of a website to kind of describe what's going on.
It's about time.
So pretty much, Diablo 3's been out for a while, and Blizzard is like, you know what? How do we make more money on Diablo 3? oh, let's release everyone's favorite character from Diablo 2 and make them pay $15. Boom, Necromancer.
Genius.
So the Necromancer is now available in Diablo 3. And, you know, he does Necromancer things, but it's also very much the same action combat as Diablo 3 has, and not so much, you know, very RPG like Diablo 2. You know, it's very fast paced, and then just as usual, you can summon skeletons, you can curse units, and you have your bone magic. You know, all of the usual Necromancer things. But one thing that's good that came out of this is that Blizzard not only bundled it's a bundle, actually. It's not just the Necromancer, which is nice. And you also wouldn't expect from Blizzard. It comes with all this other stuff. You get 2 extra character slots. There's a bunch of people that are really into Diablo 3. If you ever been playing Diablo 3 for a long time, you'll know that your character slots are probably completely full. And this one gives you 2 extra character slots, you know, just in case you want a male and a female Necromancer, you know. You gotta have
Or
the
2
wife.
female necromancers.
There you go. And then another problem with Diablo 3, the stash tabs. You gotta have more room for your loot since you have another character. So they have new stash tabs, you know, cosmetic wings, a pet, banners, and, like, you know, extra little things that come with it. So
Little quirks.
yeah, I mean, all in all, $15. It's not bad. Should this have come out with the game? Probably, but you know, it's Blizzard. Blizzard likes money.
Yeah, everybody licenses the game too. You go in and others people playing it as well, I guess.
And then also, I was actually I played the Necromancer a little bit in the beta, and I do have to say the translation from Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 went really well. So it's actually a lot of fun to play. It's a pretty cool class. So maybe if you like Diablo 3, if you're one of the 10 people that are still playing it, you can get the Necromancer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but moving on. There's another thing that came out about when did actually this game came out? The original Crash. Oh, was it 95? I believe.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week.
Crash Bandicoot 96.
96.
All right, 96. It's been a trouble for it to come out again because Activision held the license and they're like, mine. And the people that wanted to make it kept saying, just like Activision kept holding it. But now we got a re-release, a remaster, and it's the game in HD. It has great reviews of people saying this is exactly the game as we wanted it, exactly the same game but with HD graphics. And then it has bad reviews because there's people that say it's the same game as 96 with HD graphics, so it doesn't hold up to today's standard.
So it's pretty much Crash Bandicoot fans versus not Crash Bandicoot fans.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of funny because you have a lot of the people that are reviewing games nowadays. They grew up with this, so the nostalgia factor is real right now.
Yeah, no, it is, and then there's actually some pretty cool pictures on Eurogamer of comparison shots of the old game and the new one, and it's just it's exactly the same. It's revitalized. If you've been craving for this, which I'm pretty sure people have wanted, and maybe it means that we'll see Crash Bandicoot in the future if this is well received. See if it sells well. Who knows?
I mean, personally, I never had a PS1, so
this was my
check
platform.
This out. Yeah,
this was my platformer back in the day. That was my first home console. Before that, my first console was like a Game Boy Color, but my first home console was a PS1, and this was like the games I played a bunch. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get it and just
have fun with it. I mean, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
You know exactly what to expect. I mean, that's one good thing. You're not. It's not an unknown game. You know, usually with a lot of games, you're just like, maybe it's like I've seen this trailer, but I know that this trailer's not the whole game. But for
Mhm.
this, you know exactly what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So enjoy it. It's exactly what people wanted, whether you like that or not. I know I want a new one, but that's not gonna come out soon.
No, I hope they do Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You guys ever play that game? It was for the Super NES.
Yeah,
Oh, I have played that game before. Yeah,
I've seen it. I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
they're
And
never gonna remake it, Jordan.
it wasn't on
No.
the it's not on the SNES Mini, so like it's not what they meant for it.
I was looking for it on that. So maybe think about it now.
But next up we have Amazon has Amazon Prime exclusive phones untagged.
Amazon phones.
This is coming from Ars Technica, and it's not Amazon phones, it's Amazon Prime exclusive phones. They partner up with a couple of makers like Nokia. Have you heard of Nokia or Motorola or Alcatel? I've heard of Alcatel. It's not that
The
popular.
last one.
Yeah. But basically, you guys remember the Kindle, or well,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
you can still get it.
Is
It's the
it
same?
is it the same concept as that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
You even on your lock screen, you will have ads, but you get like $50 off your phone, and these are for budget phones. We're thinking the people that are gonna buy this are people that are already looking for like a cheap phone.
Yeah.
So $50 off of a cheap phone, that's actually a lot. Like that's a fourth or a fifth or maybe it's a lot, and it's actually pretty powerful. They're Android 7.1 Snapdragon processor, so it's 430, so not as powerful.
Pretty good. I mean, it's like
yeah.
a generation behind, but the thing is, the Snapdragon hasn't really gotten that much better, because
Mhm.
I had a Nexus 6P and then I upgraded to a Pixel, which is one generation apart. Difference processor wise, pretty negligible. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
biggest difference was like in the Pixel experience. It's basically the Android iPhone, but
Oh.
It will be once they release the next one.
Yeah.
Then they can start. But yeah. So yeah, now you can get a phone for as low as 100. I think that's the cheapest one they have. Oh no, they have one for 79, and that one you reach to the bottom of the barrel. It's 2 GB of RAM, and phones are really RAM heavy, especially with things running on the background. But it has a 3 milliamp battery. Like it'll still last you for a while. I like this concept. Obviously, I'm not gonna get it on my phone. I don't want ads on my phone. But for the people
Right.
that, yeah.
I mean, if you're on a budget and if you don't mind, then it's a good way to save money.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause-
And I don't think they're gonna sell like hotcakes,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're meant to.
It's a niche market for sure. But
Mm.
honestly, I had one of the Kindles that had ads on it, and it wasn't bad. Like, it didn't bother me. It's like once in a while I'm flipping through pages and then I see an ad and then I just keep going. Like
It's just good.
it wasn't
Yeah.
really that big of a deal for me. If anything,
I'm
like, when I had the
imagining-
Kindle, it told me when to take a break.
Nice, actually.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
actually.
interesting use. Yep.
I just imagine these like phone calls at 2 a.m. from an Amazon representative.
Okay, that might be a
Salt
little.
lamps are on sale.
I need like $100 off or something. Like
Yeah.
we need to talk about more. But also in tech is machine learning is huge now, and people think, people always go like, oh, that will take forever, or they go to fantasies about when you've read all tech magazines, they go into some theoretical technology that might come up, but you never hear about it again. Machine learning is here, and it's now, and it's on your devices, and that's how Siri can communicate to you that there's an accident gonna happen down the road when you head out to the concert that you planned with your friends last week to go to. So now, and trainers and coaches can actually see the performance of their players through machine learning, and see when they could get an injury, um, whether the athlete is ready or not, practice design, management, uh, player reports through several stats, and it's actually deployed. It is being used in La Liga in Spain, and I believe in some uh, in some clubs in the U.S.
Oh god.
And
Sorry.
it's just because machine learning for personal use, it's gonna be interesting to see how we interact with quote unquote AIs. Um, but machine learning when it comes to like decision making like this is very neat.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshot. It's pretty cool. Like all of the stats that you can see about the player.
Hmm.
It's like they even have this like hexagon thing that that shows you like
Ollie,
their
yeah.
strength, agility, injuries.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's nuts.
Stat allocations.
I can't. What I'm wondering is what do the players have to do to collect this data? Like,
I imagine they were like some wearable. I imagine, and like I can imagine just seeing this deploy massively through like, let's say, a sports league, and then have players maybe have a wearable during training and everything, and then not on the matches. When the matches come out at the end of the matches, they collect stats from that,
that makes sense.
and then, but for example, let's imagine that Spain is having just a show match with Italy, but on the iPads, as referred by NFL commentators, say that Cristiano Ronaldo is gonna have an injury soon. So now the coach knows. Okay, maybe I can sit him down for this game, where before he wouldn't, because they're like, oh, it's a show match, all the stars should play or something. Now that he can actually know, oh no, maybe he should sit down, or maybe he can actually play, and potentially save a risk of injury, and that can define matches later on. Like, it's actually not, it's pretty useful, and when it comes to training and other applications, it's pretty neat. And just extrapolating this to other industries is like, if it can be used in sports, how many other industries can it be used to as well?
Yeah, maybe they can even use it in esports.
Ooh.
Oh,
You could track when Olaf Meister is gonna get another wrist injury, right? He did 3 flicks this game. Be careful,
Three-
Olaf.
pushing it. That's a limit break.
3 extreme flicks. One, it was like he turned it in the wrong way, and it's not bad. Take us somewhere.
Taking you, dude. I'm taking you to ransomware.
This is
They're
much
gonna,
worse than machine learning.
yeah, dude. They're gonna steal your shit. Machines are gonna learn all about you, and then they're just gonna fucking take it, like everything.
It's not very nice.
Petya, or as the Russians call it, Panyet. No, because it's different than Petya. Is breaking ground in the Ukraine, though it's actually kind of grounding out right now. It's a virus that's encrypting people's devices, just like we saw like a month ago. And that shut down like a few facilities, like a hospital, like whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ransomware, the new Trojans.
Yeah. I'm really
Yeah,
glad
pretty
that
much.
this hasn't affected me at work because I work with hospitals.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
have
that
to
this
say,
has.
like the
Yeah.
IT and these large organizations, like they have a really hard job because they have to deal with a bunch of people that do not know how to use computers.
Yeah, I'm glad this hasn't affected me at work, because although it's a small office, I bring my own laptop, and it just takes
Yeah.
on infection. It's just like,
You go to your boss, be like, "You gonna cover this? Is this a work-related expense?
No.
I get a tax break
Yeah.
on this."
and not only that, there's like there's only one IT guy because it's a small office. So I don't know how much he can take. He can make sure that people don't click fishy emails or something like that. And we're in Europe, so it's
Yeah.
close to where these have been spreading a lot.
So is this very
The
similar
ITM
to
in
WannaCry?
Spain.
Is this similar to WannaCry in that they're asking for money in order to remove it?
It is, except with the key difference that they're not removing it.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Apparently, the email that's supposed to receive the Bitcoin,
Yeah.
it's like disconnected from the something about the email that's not functioning,
Yeah.
and so when they receive the Bitcoins, there's no verification at no point, and so
So, yeah, so they couldn't even collect on it, even if they wanted to, because they made this email and like made an email address in a public domain, and the provider just yanked it.
that's what happens.
So, like, I don't know, it seems like it's kind of a for the lulz kind of thing, where there's no real goal. I mean, they're not making any money off of it. And
But it's just
just fucking with people,
They're just trying to fuck shit up.
pretty much.
yeah. But now we got Windows 10 saying that they're gonna combat
Yeah.
ransomware.
Yeah, it's by like adding their own level of encryption. Is that it?
In a way, they're basically control folder access. So
That's it.
applications are are either gonna be on a whitelist or something. So if something were going to interact with a folder or something, it needs to be whitelisted.
That
Which
sounds
is
ridiculous.
yes,
Oh my
Because that-
god.
Why do you say?
because that opens the possibility for it to interact through many there are softwares that are gonna be whitelisted by default, like Word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you control Word, then
And Word, it's
Uh-oh.
known for its world-class updates and security measures.
Mhm.
They're just adding one step to the thing. They're just this sound to me like it's a solution more than a PR move to like, oh, let's make it look like we're being bothered by this, like.
yeah, I agree.
Fucking
So
ransomware,
Windows-
man. Just,
Windows has got a bucket on their head.
yeah.
I mean,
They tried to they tried to do what they can after the last one, because remember the
did.
FBI's fault here, because
oh, it was no NSA.
NSA, they're all the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the U.S. government's
Yeah.
fault because
I mean,
technically.
Yeah.
to be fair, Windows tried. Like when they found out, they made
They patched.
changes.
They released a
you
patch,
know, but
like,
it's
same
everyone.
day.
This is one of those things where it's like, you can kind of blame Windows, but it's also everyone else's fault.
It basically kind of is, and at least they're trying by this, but I don't think this is gonna do. This is not gonna stop ransomware. This is not how you stop ransomware.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And this vulnerability came out of nowhere too. Like no one's owning up to discovering it like they did with WannaCry. So it's a little curious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hopefully your shit doesn't get locked up. Maybe that's what happened to your webcam, Jordan. Pay the Russians.
I should just pay the Russians.
just send me the money and I'll walk over there. It's closer to me than you are.
Oh, thanks, Daniel. I'm gonna mail you an envelope of coins.
I guess it's time for the rando.
Yep, that's the end of
Random.
the regular show.
Random! Whoop!
All right, Jordan, you're up first. Let's see what you
I'm leading
got.
it. I'm leading it. It's actually pretty nice after this last segment. There's a new internet. It's new. It's a whole new internet. It's like not like the old internet.
What?
It's called yep. It's new. It's different. They made a new internet.
A new one.
It's using it's new. It's using like it's different. All of the data. That's what makes the internet so valuable, is all this public domain data. They have moved it all onto the client side, so you are kind of in control of your data. It uses something called block stack that was first used in Bitcoins to make Bitcoins more secure. And it pretty much encrypts all of your data, and you send it to an application like Twitter. And then Twitter uses whatever you send to it to make a post on there. And that is all that it gets. So you don't get any cookie data. You don't get any histories or anything sent to this website except for what you specify it to get. Yeah, that's it. So that's pretty cool. It's a whole new era of privacy, and now your information can no longer be monitored if you use this. Can no longer be monitored by governments, by websites, and ads can't be targeted to you. It's kind of a whole thing that they're doing. So we'll see if they get assassinated. I feel like they might. By the American government.
Yeah. Because
This is interesting.
the internet is fighting one way, and then the governments are fighting the other way, and
Yeah. So it's like, why would the U.S. government ever even allow this to happen? And they give a few cases for why they should and why it's a good thing for companies. Why it's a good thing for users, because users could begin selling their own data to companies and make a profit themselves. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. You know, you're valuable.
Here's the little snippet of their page. The old internet is broken and the new internet is here.
own your data, your apps, and your identity.
Avoid platform lock-in.
And just when I thought that we would be able to get rid of JavaScript, no, it's never gonna.
It's always back.
Damn it!
Never going away.
Because to me, it sounds like from a development perspective that this is almost completely based around JavaScript. It would have to be, right?
As it should be, indeed.
That sounds like it's see, what I'm worried about is users knowing how to do this, programmers knowing how to do this, and the amount of storage that would be required. Because I actually don't know, I don't know how much storage Google and Facebook are using to store my shit, right?
Stupid amounts.
And then I all of a sudden have to store all of this.
You would have to store, somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
It would be a giant peer-to-peer network. So where does it go? Who keeps it? That's a really good question.
Well, that's the thing.
No
everyone keeps it. So
it's just always.
The thing I'm wondering
so
about
one
this
computer
is
goes down.
how fast could this possibly be? Because there's no way that this could be fast.
You
know, because if everyone's data, if what the site displays is dependent on what people are sending the site, then think of the bandwidth. That's nuts.
True story. They never mentioned bandwidth. I found on their site.
I don't think this is meant to replace the internet, although so much the advertising. They're trying to bring in people like first time users, I feel, to sort of test it out, try it out, and just basically see how many people they can collect. I don't know, because even you can, I believe Facebook is in Tor, and some other companies are also in Tor, which is cool, but it's obviously not their biggest seller. It's not their biggest. They're more there just to sort of stand by it and say, hey, sure, we support this. It's okay for this to happen. So we'll see how big this actually gets.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, making a new internet, you crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, out of JavaScript. Oh no, doomed.
Anyways, on a lighter note, going back to the CS:GO major qualifiers, I just wanted to show off this clip of Sunny on Penta Esports being a fucking god. So the context here is that you'll see in the first part of this clip, Sunny's team gets completely destroyed, and then he arises as a champion.
Immediate kill HS is there with a return though, and he gets a second kill too, so a lot of trading going back and forth. The bomb has been dropped and spotted for sure, so Penta are going to be making the full rotation this way. Innocent by the rock, and he's going to get taken down by Lowell. That's a great shot. Sunny not risking it. He wants to wait. He's going to stop the bomb. Gets another kill. Sunny on the triple. That's beautiful.
Chicken
play.
motherfucking Coop!
Dude, Cuban Pete over there with the boom chicken boom. That was great.
And for the uninitiated, the as Daniel stated, the area he was hiding is called Chicken Coop. You can see him back here. So one very important thing that happens is that right after his teammates are dying here,
he's gonna stop the bomb.
He doesn't shoot at. See this guy? This is the first guy that he saw, but notice that he kills him last.
Yeah.
He saw him.
He
He's
just
like,
lets them
I'm
walk.
just gonna let you live. And then he kills his other two teammates and wins the round for his team.
Well, he was there in a situation where it's like, if they check Coop, I'm dead. Like, so I'm just gonna hide in there, and then hope they don't check it. Hopefully they don't think it was a stack because they stack B. And then he walks out and just bleep.
Everyone. But yeah, unfortunately Penta didn't win this game, so it didn't quite pan out, but that's alright. They're still in it, so check them out tomorrow. Maybe they'll make it through. After that play,
keep an eye on Sunny.
Sunny's back is probably hurting a little bit.
Yeah, it needs a new jam sport, you know.
What you got, Daniel?
All right, Daniel.
Mine. So, PhotoBucket. I'm pretty sure you've used PhotoBucket alongside Image Check.
That still exists.
Apparently. And I mean,
Image Waffle.
There were so many just random hosts. The early days of memeing, how you had to share before. Now all 10 million images, according to Petapixel, stored by 100 million registered users, are just broken links because PhotoBucket is now charging $3.99 per year subscription for those who want to hot link images from PhotoBucket servers to display somewhere else.
Oh my god! And there's no period. It's not $3.99.
No, $399 per year subscription. I mean,
just finished talking about ransomware.
Right? Oh, I had a PhotoBucket account. No.
Wait, hold on.
Pretty sure I had one too.
Oh wait, so this only breaks. Does this only break embeds?
Yeah. Hot linking, aka inline linking. So basically, you cannot use a PhotoBucket account to make a website or something like. You know, it's weird.
That's insane. Looks like Imager's about to get a lot of business.
Right. It's like, why would you do this, PhotoBucket?
That's such a ridiculous fee.
Who is gonna pay that? I could understand if it was. I could hardly understand if it was $5.
Well, see, the thing is, if you can afford that fee, you know, you're probably a business, and if you're
that can afford us,
you host your own pictures. Yeah. You don't need PhotoBucket at that price. $400. PhotoBucket doesn't even do anything that's worth $400 a year.
No, I don't. It just surprised me. I was just. This week has been slow news, and then this came up, and then just like. And then if you go to PhotoBucket's front page, it looks so generic. It like print your photos, edit them, like it's like.
That's insane. That's like robbery almost.
They're like trying to do everything, but at the same time, nothing's working.
Yep.
Maybe they're just trying to get bad press to sort of become relevant again, but.
I hope you didn't make your website with PhotoBucket. Damn.
I hope not.
But what if there's like a really hot meme that you wanted to share through your
be through PhotoBucket? I hope you got $400.
It's worth it. The memes are worth it.
And they're gonna show an image saying third-party hosting usage 100%. Please update your account to now enable third-party hosting.
Oh my god.
That is.
It's a yearly fee. It's a subscription fee.
Yeah, it's yearly too.
That's evil.
Oh my god. What have you done, Photo Bucket?
Oh,
Like, if the Russians
shit.
could get away with it, maybe we can too. Jesus Christ.
These are your pictures for $400.
That is fucked
Yes.
up.
Well,
That's
thanks,
it.
Photo
That-
Bucket.
That's
Did
our
it.
show for today.
Yep.
That's so random. That's
Yep.
so random, yes.
So we actually don't have a large amount of announcements. We don't have anything big going on. E3 just ended, so we already did that. And
Yeah.
VGBC is underway. But as I said at the beginning of the show, if you are interested in joining VGBC, links to the Discord down below. Feel free to reach out to any of us three. Ask for more information about Video Game Book Club. It's a blast. We are all
It's actually
dying
fun.
in dungeons together.
In a sense, yes. It's I like that these games have featured like a rage quit now. You know, you can just XX escape, just I'm out. Just
You'll be using it.
I love it.
Speaking of which, Daniel, you gonna be playing some Darkest Dungeon?
Not an after party from me tonight.
No after party. All right.
No, I have to.
3 a.m.
No, it's only midnight, but I need to proofread a few things.
And finish the logo.
It works. Sorry, it works if you cough and then like say between cough, not just drop it and then cough after. Kind of like this.
All right, guys. Maybe next week we'll have a logo. That's my announcement. Maybe.
That's,
But as always, thanks for tuning in. Any final words, Jordan or Daniel?
I'm still shocked about this layout. I love it. It looks so good.
I worked hard
I
on
want-
this shit, yo.
yeah, you did. I wonder how for how long we're gonna keep it this way, or how fluid will it be?
Yeah, eventually, one day, we will have a layout and a logo, and none of it will change. That day is not today.
No. Not yet.
But I hope everybody liked the new layout. We're trying to make better use of space, make it less distracting, and so you know what's going on.
Yep.
So, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
See y'all next week, Saturday, 4 p.m. Central. That's all we got. Goodbye forever.
May the force
Until
be
next
with you. Fucking photo bucket though. God damn. Who does that shit?
$3.99 a year.
$3.99.
No
Stupid.
points, no periods. No, it's
They'll take your soul.